um, is something I've been thinking about lately. We've become so desensitized to uh, death, um, and the mistreatment of other people because we see it all the time. We see it in devastation. We just see it in people just being mean for no reason. Not only saying ugly things to people, but just doing ugly things to people for absolutely no reason at all. And with the storms and the war that is going on in the world, and I think about reparations as well in the mix of all of that, because I don't think people put reparations and everything that's going on in the world together. We are refused ADOS, and you can look up ADOS and see what that means, is absolutely refused monetary reparations. But guess what? Energy never dies. Souls, spirits are both energy, and energy never dies. You can't mistreat people, take people's lives, build on top of people's graves, and think that those souls and those spirits aren't going to eventually cry out. Have you ever listened to what a hurricane sounds like? I want you to go and look up different videos and listen to what a hurricane sounds like. There have been a few posts that I have seen, and they say that the meaning of a hurricane and the origin of a hurricane is angry souls that get stirred up in the Atlantic or coming somewhere from the direction of Africa, um, where the slave trade took place, like the path and the route of the slave trade. But if you listen to a hurricane, what does it sound like? Does it sound angry? Does it sound like a screech, like a scream, like screaming people, like just frustrated and uprooted? And tell me what it sounds like. Does it look wild and untamed but cohesive all at the same time? So this video was really to talk about the hurricane and everything that's going on in the world, but it also has to deal with the mistreatment of a certain group of people, and that everything that's going on in the world is probably all working together, and we don't think about that. Sometimes it's actually working together. All things work together for the good of those who love the Most High. And so we have to stop thinking that everything is a tragedy. Sometimes things are happening because that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Nature always wants to return itself to its original state. And we have to remember that. You can't, when you fight against nature, you turn things upside down, you remove people, you displace people, you unalive people. You can't get away with that forever. I mean, eventually it's going to have to end, and there's going to be some type of retribution for that. I want to thank you all for watching. Hey, I'm reading the comments, so excuse me if I'm not talking for a minute here. Tell me about the share market. That's not my thing. Now, I do invest, don't get me wrong. You have to invest and have things in many different places and diversify. However, that's not my area of expertise per se. All right, madam, which stock I need to buy? I can't tell you what to buy. However, my tip would be to you, buy what you use. If you consume it, you should be buying it and investing in it because you're already investing in it. So why not win on it on two different spectrums? By consuming it, you're benefiting from it, and also by buying stock in it, you're going to benefit it from it again. Hi from India, Ajay. That's a pretty name, Ajay. Nice to meet you. Thank you for tuning in. You just subscribed. Thank you. Cool kid. Nice to meet you, cool kid. Welcome, welcome. But that's just my little spiel today. I try when I come on lives in the midday, I try to just reflect on what exactly is on my mind at that time. And it's usually what's going on in the world or what's going on with me personally. And now we're, like I said, we're dealing with wars and famine and people hungry. And just the land continuously being robbed of its natural resources, and it's just really sad and ridiculous. Um, but that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Which companies do I invest in? Well, the big boys, Microsoft, Apple, um, things that I use, Chipotle, places that I frequent a lot, I buy stock in those as well. And tech companies, AI companies, things like that, things that are on the rise, then you might want to go ahead and invest in. I don't know that language, English, Mayan, Bata. I don't know what that means, but hey, thank you, welcome. Hi, Yuchi Ho. I'm not going to mess it up. I'm going to leave it alone, but hey, welcome. Yes, that's your father's name. It's Shriya. That's beautiful too. History. Oh wow, it's 1 a.m. there. Well, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon here. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? How I'm doing? I like to respond to that with I can't complain. All right. How I'm doing, things could be better, but they could be worse. So my response to that is always I won't complain because someone has it so much worse. Mm-hmm. Hi, Stephen. Hey, Haynes. Am I pronouncing that last name right, Stephen? Thank you. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you like all of my shenanigans because my channel is called Life Has No Niche because I do a wide variety of things. I have certifications in a variety of things, and my life is not based on just one thing. Nobody's life is just a straight track. We all have um, things that we deal with that is just out of our control sometimes. So I try to touch on every little aspect of life. And that's why my channel is called Life Has No Niche, because I don't like being put in a box. Life is not this little pretty box, it goes awry sometimes. So that's kind of what my channel is. I like to say my channel is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what I'm going to talk about or what the topic is going to be for that day. You want to be friends with me? Well, all praises. I welcome your friendship. Thank you. I'm also looking to do some collaborations. So if any of you have any specific or particular topics you'd like to cover and you want to collab, I'd love to do something like that. I said it correct. Which part did I say correct, Stefan? I try to be positive. You know what? Because I've dealt with so much loss in my life. If you're new to the channel, I actually lost a son 2 years ago. He was 2 months old. And nothing changes you like the death of a child. There is nothing, the death of a parent, the death of a dog, losing your house, any materialistic thing, nothing changes you like the loss of a child. So I do try to stay positive because even in that, he taught us how to love more, how to love deeper, and to really appreciate life a whole lot more, and to love the children that we still have even more. And we were blessed with another son after that, and he's 7 months old. So life is going to be what it is, and you have to make the best of it. You have to make the best of the time that you have and make the best of what you do have, because of course there are people that have more, but there are also people that have less. So when you're grateful and have gratitude for what you have, your mind frame and your mind set changes, and that's what actually makes your heaven on earth. Whether you're a believer in heaven or hell, literally, heaven or hell is actually a physical manifestation also based on how you think. So you can make your life a living hell, or you can make it a living heaven just based on your way of thinking. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Don't be sorry. Like I said, we found the good and the bad in that. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Losing a child is like, it just rips you from the deepest core of your inner everything, because all of the hopes, the dreams, the desires, the love that you had for that child, and especially for a mother carrying that child for 9 months, and you have all these aspirations and what you think they're going to be and hope they're going to be, and to have it not come to that is devastating. But we all die, and we never know when we're going to die. So like I said, appreciate each and every moment. I try to be nice, but don't let that fool you. Sometimes sometimes your girl can be a little raunchy. All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, it does. It feels very bad, and I still deal with it. You know, I never know when it's going to pop up on me. Sometimes it just comes up out of the blue, you know. And another aspect to that was having to decide whether or not to pull the plug on someone you love. And unfortunately, it was the second time in my life that I've been the one responsible for making that decision. I had to make the decision with my father a few years ago whether or not to pull the plug or keep him going, and we had to make that decision with my son. And that's another thing I'd never wish on anyone, for you to be the one responsible for making that decision. It's like no other decision you'll ever have to make in your life. However, watching a loved one suffer also, that's like nothing else. So what do? Do you continue to watch them suffer, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, not knowing how they're feeling, what they're thinking in that state? Or do you do what you think is best? Do you do the humane thing? And then some people still have their opinions about that. Oh, it's not humane to take a life or whatever. But to be honest, the people in that situation, they have to make that decision because they have to live with it, and they're the only ones living with it at the time, because they're the only ones watching their family member die in real time. You know what? I used to be in love with cats as a child. Somebody's asking me this question. I'm not just rambling, okay? Do I like cats or dogs? As I got older, I think I prefer dogs because dogs have a better capacity to protect you. So I'd prefer a dog at this point in my life. But when I was a young kid, I would beg my mom to rescue these stray cats and everything. So I was in love with cats. I still love both, but if I had to choose now, it would be a dog. Stefan, yes, of course. I am very careful about my words. So the word friend is used so loosely nowadays. I like to be more careful, but I do not mind building a relationship of some sort, and you know, going from there and communicating, and because I like to hear what different people think, what they have to say, because you can learn something from everyone. So that looks like that was the last comment on here. That was my little spiel for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I won't promise I'll be back tomorrow on a live, but I will try. But until I see you all again on live, you be blessed, and please go and catch up on some of the other videos that I have posted. Be blessed.